Today I'm going to be talking about conflict and how you're going to be filling out your conflict log. So in your conflict log, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be tracking the conflicts that you find throughout your book. So let's quickly review what a conflict is. Conflicts are problems that characters in a story face. They could be problems that characters are having with another character, the society they live in, the nature around them, or it could be problems that they're having with themselves. Some of these problems are going to be really big, some of them are going to be small, but it's any time that something really isn't going well or something isn't going right. So there's two kinds of conflicts that are going to be going on in your book. The first one is the central conflict, and that is the conflict that's going on throughout the entire book from beginning to end. And this is the most important conflict in the story. Now, good books will oftentimes have two central conflicts. So you may find as you're reading that there's an external central conflict and an internal central conflict as you go through. And I'll explain in just a moment the difference between an internal and an external central conflict. Any conflict that has a clear beginning and end within the story and that doesn't occur throughout the entire book is a minor conflict. So you will find that there's going to be a lot of minor conflicts in your story that just occur for a short amount of time. So there's two types of conflict, like I said. First type are external conflicts, and those are conflicts that take place outside of the body, which means that you can see them happen. The other kind of conflicts are internal conflicts, which mean they take place inside the body or the mind. So those are conflicts inside your head. Both internal and external conflicts are going to be going on within a book, and both can be a central conflict. So you just want to be aware when these conflicts are happening. Are they happening between characters outside, or are they going on in a character's mind? There's three types of external conflicts, and the first kind is person versus person. And this is where you have a character struggling with another character or another group of characters. It won't be that the character is struggling against a huge group of people, but it might be that one character maybe isn't getting along with a group of friends or something like this. But person versus person conflicts are when characters are struggling with another character. The second kind of external conflict is person versus nature. And this is where a character is struggling against a force of nature like a storm or an animal, the seasons, natural disasters. And usually what happens is the character is trying to survive in the nature. The third type of external conflict that we can see from the outside is person versus society. And this is where a character or a group of characters are fighting against the society they live in. So this means one person is standing up against like the government, some sort of really big organization. The character might be fighting against social traditions or rules that their society is placed in, and oftentimes the society becomes sort of this character of its own. The fourth type of conflict, which is an internal conflict, and this is the only type of internal conflict, is a person versus self conflict. And this is a conflict between a character and themselves. And the fight is taking place in the character's mind. And a lot of times a person versus self conflict has to do with big decisions a character has to make, or maybe they're overcoming emotions, or maybe there's something from their past they're really struggling with. So for your for your conflict log, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be tracking the conflicts that you find throughout your book. So anytime a conflict or a problem happens, I want you to take note of it, either on a post-it note, write it down, something like that. And what you need to be doing is that throughout your book then you need to be tracking what's happening with that conflict. Conflicts that are minor conflicts will have a clear beginning and end. You'll see them start and end. And they're not going to occur throughout your whole book. However, you should start to notice that there's going to be a central conflict, a conflict that's going on throughout your entire book. So as you're charting those, just be aware and try to start to figure out which ones are central conflicts and which ones are minor conflicts.